bans across all the games so far, but moving into game 4 with IG up 2-1. Only one more game left until they push themselves into that semi-final date with Edward Gaming. So IG on the blue side for what could be our last game. Sticking to what they know so far, Rek'Sai and Italy both banned away, and Vici banned away the Cassiopeia.
I feel like Vici have to ban the Lulu this time. So much Lulu this series, often on the winning team, another disengage option. Janna and Lulu keep getting over to IG, and they use them so potently. Yeah,
Lulu is banned there, so smart adaptations by Vici. I think starting to realize what's been happening in this best of 5, but is it too little too late here for Vici? We'll have to see, because they have to win out now. 2 wins in a row required to upset IG from this point and be the ones to face EDG. But Invictus Gaming starting to build momentum, so we'll see how that works out.
2 match points to IG, as you mentioned. You have to think Gragas is going to be another highly contested pick. Wouldn't be surprised to see it first pick. No, it's banned away as well. All disengage, barring Nami and Janna, really off the table.
Nice ban there from Vici. Finally, I think, hitting on the picks that have won IG the last few games. IG sticking to the same bans, by the way, still picking on Dandy and banning away the Maokai once again from carry. So we'll see what IG want to take. Janna would be a fine first pick here if they want it, but Sejuani's open also.
Sejuani is a consideration for Kakao, but he's shown prominence on other jungle picks. Been defaulting to the Gragas, but Azia's the champion that makes it through the pick and ban. Also great with the disengage, so not a bad first pick.
Makes sense here. It's one of Rookie's best champions, and Atong, no slouch on the champion either. That does leave Vici some power picks here, depending on what they want to take away. But Azir's been banned a couple of times already in this series, so I like the pick away by Invictus Gaming.
Sejuani, Janna, I think, will be a very powerful duo. Get Marta back on that Janna. Remember, it was when he was on Janna in game 1 that was Vici's big victory. Fits their champion pool, doesn't give anything away. They've got engage and disengage with his first 2 picks, and suddenly draft looks a lot better for Vici.
It does here, and I would love these picks away. Can't imagine them changing them to anything else here. We'll give them a couple seconds to decide, but Sejuani's locked in, and Janna soon follows.
Just so much, not necessarily inherent synergy, but suddenly you have the protection and the engage coming through. Getting on top of an Azir, locking him down from range is actually a very desirable thing. So getting it from the jungle with the scaling of Sejuani is a very big power pick for Vici.
And IG going to mull over the next few picks as well. They've got the Azir already. We've seen Kakao's Nunu once already this evening. Didn't quite work out maybe the way that they wanted it to, but it would combo in nicely with the Azir that they've already picked. Kid loves to pick up Kalista as well in almost any situation. Urgot is open, so it's a bit dangerous, but Nunu, Kalista are IG's 2nd and 3rd.
Of course, if you do go with the Urgot, again, another threat of these low damage lineups coming through. Have to see if he goes for it. Vasilius Urgot has been impressive in the past, so it could be a consideration in this matchup. Kassadin versus Azir is the matchup we saw yesterday, of course, in the EDG versus WE 5th game, and it went just fine for Kassadin. It wouldn't be a bad lock-in, but of course, remember back in the first game, Kassadin didn't quite work out.
No, I mean, almost did, honestly, for Hatong. He looked great on the champion once they got to the later stages. I think Vici have to sort of settle themselves and go for things that they know. The drafting's certainly been a bit off, but it's more their play that sort of intrigued me. IG cleaned up their drafting and have played great. Vici looking to draft perfectly fine, but maybe not executing quite as well. Kassadin and Lucian, big comfort picks here for Vici.
And Kassadin versus Azir is definitely not the same sort of losing matchup as we saw with Kassadin versus TF. So Azir definitely going to be a little bit more on the back foot than Rookie was able to be on Twisted Fate, where he's just pushing so aggressively. Have Sejuani coming through from the jungle against the jungle Nunu. So you would say a little bit more ganking pressure, at least in the early levels, and especially around the level 6 power spike. And Lucian, Janna, that's a very strong duo lane.
It is indeed, and they're hovering the Annie now as well. The aggressive Kalista duo being considered here by Invictus Gaming. But not too long left here. I like what they're showing so far. They will swap it over Thresh, actually, to pick there for IG. But Satai showing something new, I believe. Aurelia's his pickup here.
Actually moving to Aurelia, not his usual champion pool. I don't believe he's played Aurelia in a competitive game in the LPL yet this season. He needs to blind pick something. So I guess he goes with the Aurelia, who can deal with most of the top lane meta matchups.
I just like it a lot against Janna. That's the big issue here for IG, is that they have to get through Janna, who's been potent in this series so far. I think Aurelia looks great in that particular matchup because they've already got enough protection for Kalista. That's not really the issue, but they've got to get on top of Vici's carries as well.
Speaking of carries, looking to opt into what is on some level a losing matchup. We usually see Aurelia's outscaling Rumbles, but it is a skill matchup to some degree. Carrie's already shown that he's a massively feared Rumble player, 10-1 for the season against the untested Irelia from Zatai. Maybe he just feels that he can opt into a skill matchup and outskills Zatai in the top lane.
I mean, Carrie's had a great series, I have to say. Been consistently good so far in the games they've had against IG. Vici pulling out all the stops here as they move into what could be their final game, and I can't blame them. For the most part, I look down at Vici and one word springs to mind. It's comfort.
It is a lot of comfort coming through, and Carrie's really threatening to be in the same league as top lane Rumbles like Acorn when it comes to just his power on that pick. You see the synergy there with the initiation from Sejuani into the equalizer combos coming through. He's opting into the skill matchup. He must be confident.
Yeah, we'll take it against the Ties Aurelia as Kakao back on the Nunu versus the Sejuani. Didn't go so well last time. We'll see how he does in this game.
I mean, Kakao will have to be a bit more proactive than we've seen previous Nunu players be. This is a better lane matchup for Cassidy. Saw the first Cassidy loss earlier in the series basically because Twisted Fate had no jungle pressure whatsoever. Sejuani needing to provide that.
Yeah, and there's Kalista again for Kid. Always loves this champion, but couldn't quite get it done. And Lucian now for Vasilian. Kid is back on Thresh, but Mata back on Janna.
And consistently, we have seen these Lucian lanes beat Kalista in the 2v2s early, but when you get enough attack speed, when the Martial Poise is frequent enough, and you get the bigger jumps to try and avoid the piercing light, the lane starts to go towards Kalista.
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll try and swap away again as a result. Again, Kalista into tanks, Papa Smithy. I'm yet to be convinced.
I mean, you say into tanks, it's only really a single tank lineup. It's only the Sejuani in terms of frontline threat. If carries kept down and we don't see a damaged Rumble where you have to respect both the Flame Splitter and the ultimate, if he's forced onto an equalizer-centric build, you can see those Rensets coming through from the Kalista. I understand your concern, and in the late game, there is that really big threat that Kassadin, with those three items, the Rod of Ages into the Zhonyas and the Athenes, can assassinate the short-range Kalista. But in terms of the mid-game, keep the Rumble down, boost up the Kalista. You do have some options.
Yeah, again, we do have a pause to start this game, so not quite in there yet as we do see Dandy looking a little bit concerned. He was rubbing his eyes before the match started. Again, Vici have to refocus. He can't afford to make any more mistakes at this point. They have no more games left to give away.
I mean, look, Dandy has a right to be concerned. It's match point for IG. IG have had the run of the last 2 games. There's a lot to be concerned about if you're Vici Gaming. I feel like the comp really works their strengths a bit better. I was optimistic about Game 3, but they could never get the rotational play going against the Juggernaut that's proved so successful during the course of the LPL. Now they have a better lane matchup for Cass, and they have Carry on his ultimate comfort champion. And Dandy gets another shot at the Sejuani.
Yeah, I mean, his Sejuani's fine, but just not had the same control over the jungle and vision that we've seen earlier from Vici as Mata. Pinching his cheeks, again trying to refocus, is on Janna. It's arguably his best champion, certainly his signature champion, and you can see trying to pump himself back up. I mean, Vici, again, they've got everything to lose here at this point, but don't think that IG won't be focused. And for me, the wildcard is the top lane. How good is the Ties Aurelia?
That's the big question mark. We don't know the answer to that question for each time. Might see a lane swap coming through. Of course, you'd probably take Aurelia in a lane swap over Rumble. Rumble does struggle to get any sort of counter pushing going. His jungle follow not as good as Aurelia's either, so that might be a consideration coming into this series. IG crucially only had the single disengage this time. It's not Janna Lulu, the embarrassment of riches with the kiting back and disengage. It's only really Rookie with the Emperor's Divide.
And Rookie, his Azir is fantastic, so I wonder if he can maybe even bully that Kassadin in the lane as well. We have a lot of questions moving into Game 4, unsurprisingly.
That's just the reality, but it is match point to IG. They have a good comp being chosen, but Vici, they're on comfort.
Yeah, I mean, Vici, they should be as well. Again, it might be their last game here, so we'll have to fight back. We'll see what they can do as we're about to move into IG's game number 4. And welcome back onto the Rift here. Invictus Gaming versus Vici. A best of 5 here in the LPL Spring playoffs, and Invictus Gaming find themselves up 2-1.
Invictus Gaming, they have the momentum, 2 wins in a row, but a lot of that was off the back of very strong disengaged champions, the likes of Janna and Lulu in multiple games. They don't have that this game. Vici, they've mostly been about avoiding fights during the LPL, out-rotating their opponents. They tried to opt into fights last game and then just found multiple sorts of disengage, whether it was Gragas, whether it was Lulu, whether it was Janna. This game should be more on their terms. They should be the ones choosing engage coming through with the Sejuani and all the other offensive options they have.
I think for me, the other question is, can Kakao deliver again on Nunu? He's had great Nunu games. In fact, Nunu who we thought coming into this series would be quite contested, has had poor showings by both junglers who are traditionally quite good Nunu players, Dandy especially. Cacau's definitely been dictated to when he's played the champion so far in the series, but if he can have another influential game like he was on the Gragas, IG will look in prime position to advance to the semi-final.
And one thing we didn't mention in Champions is that although it's not Nunu Jinx, which has probably been the most winning duo when it comes to Nunu AD carries, of course the Blood Bowl is such a core tenet to Nunu's kit, can really set up success. It is Nunu Azir in this game, Pastry Time, so empowering the Azir to get even more damage out of fight, already itemized into the Stinger to really get that attack speed with cost-effective cooldown reduction. But Nunu Azir is a really powerful duo.
It is, and I'm excited to see the Blood Boil Azir again. Maybe more excited to see what Kalista can potentially do with the Blood Boil for additional movement speed and just so much attack speed for the Martial Poise. Maybe Kid will change up his item build. Not entirely convinced of that yet, but as you break down here, Kid and Kitties take the Krugs and return to the bottom side. Kid already level 2 starting to get aggressive because we've got standard lanes once again.
It is actually interesting to mention the Blood Boil synergy with Kalista. Okay, it is an AD carry. They all crave movement speed and attack speed, but that just means the Martial Poise is double scaling off one ability. Suddenly the Piercing Light becomes super, super hard to hit on the Kalista, and that can change the texture of a fight, so it's a smart call out.
I mean, maybe not even just that, because in lane, obviously Blood Boil not there, but in team fights, absolutely. Hitong maybe not peelable, but avoiding the Equalizer, avoiding Sejuani, or perhaps something that's much easier now for Kid.
Watching this mid lane as well. We'll be interested to see how Rookie and Hitong go. We saw Akasten do very, very well from Pawn yesterday. Hitong's probably not quite Pawn tier when it comes to the Kassadin, so it could be different.
Yeah, we'll see now. Azir with an early lead. Rookie actually loves to bully on the champion as Dandy just missing getting hooked there. It's been exhausted by Kitties as well. Cacao continues in with a snowball. He wants to chase, but will just take a bit of damage. But IG trying to 3-buff Vici and look to be successful.
Yeah, Cacao really wanted to force the flash defensively out of Dandy. Wasn't able to do that. But even with 2 members towards the bottom, the fast reaction from Kitties means that should be able to pick up a 3rd blue buff.
And this is what we expected more from Cacao, especially on a champion like Nunu. Against Sejuani, pick on her. We've seen Cacao constantly pick on Sejuani since 5.6 happened with a whole host of champions, and now finally doing it on Nunu.
And he's kind of alone in that regard. We've seen multiple members get close to contesting a Sejuani at a 2nd buff, but not really follow through and actually pick up that 3-buff potential. Sejuani always opens that because her first clear, she falls so low in the jungle that you can go in there with your support and just chase her away.
Yeah, Rookie set now against Hitong, harassing nicely, sort of as expected, I guess, in this matchup. A good lead already, 23-11 CS. Now double actually at 24-12 as Rookie again. We've seen him do this before on Azir specifically. He started getting banned away because he just punished people in lane with it.
And even though Hitong is getting zoned, he's still skilling for teamfights, still skilling for skirmish in terms of maxing the force pulse first. Getting a gank, but not going to be able to close the distance onto Rookie. You usually want to max that Q if you want to just trade from range, get a bit of a magic resist shield, which should be very effective against all the harass coming through from Azir. But going the more optimistic route, going the more late game route, and maxing the force pulse.
And I saw Kid do a good bit of chunk of damage there to Vasily. It looks to be maxing Pierce this time around, so going to look to poke in on Vasily, stay out of range of the piercing lights, have a bit of a lower cooldown for some more hops as well, and so far looking to be successful, actually leading in CS in this lane.
I mean, the Pierce max first is really interesting to me, Pastry Time, because the cooldown doesn't scale with level. It's just the flat amount of damage it does. It just gives you so many options in terms of counter pushing. You can counter push down a wave with that AoE Pierce, so it's all about trying to control the wave with a bit more ranged clear. Yeah,
and just maybe a bit more poke as well for Landers. Zatai hopping around the minions there, takes good damage though from Carry's Flame Spitter. Started with a flash, did Zatai. Cloth Armor there for Carry, who must know this matchup exceptionally well, being a seasoned Rumble player. We'll see how Zatai goes as we move through, keeping up in CS so far, but Carry's Rumble is a sight to behold when it gets going.
It's quite significant that he opts into the Cloth Armor instead of, say, the Ruby Crystal, so it means not going to be the fast haunting guys. We recall that in the earlier game we saw Carry play Rumble, it was another situation where he got the very fast Seeker's Arm Guard. He builds more for lane than most Rumble players I've seen, but hey, it seems to be working out.
Yeah, wants to make sure he gets through the awkward laning phase that Rumble can have sometimes and make sure he's always powerful when it comes to the mid game. Is down the bottom Kid. Good chunk of damage here put down onto Kalista. Kid actually leading in CS by 10, so maybe Vasily over-aggressive in his harass. Mata even has to be careful. Does get soul marked, but won't get ganked. And Dandy's here is why they're playing so aggressive.
Dandy's crucially level 5, doesn't have access to the Glacial Prison. Isn't going to come in aggressive yet, though.
No, gonna wait here. Use the hook now. Kid actually in a prime position as Kiddies wants to go aggressive, and Dandy been very patient here. Has the flash, but Kid now gonna get preyed on. The tornado comes in as well, and first blood goes to Vasily as Kiddies now has to run away. The Flay coming forward, moves 2 back with Vasily gonna move in. Flash there will keep it. Vasily follow flashes, heals as well. Wants to kill Sobo. Vasily taking out the turret now. Cacao has to run back in as well. It's just the 1 kill, but it's crucially gone to Lucian.
And the patience of Dandy paid such great dividends, getting the first blood onto his AD carry, Vasily. You mentioned it already. This lane was actually going very poorly for Vici. So for them to get that advantage really unsettles all the good 2v2 work that Kid and Kiddies had done.
And Dandy again, now level 5, going to accelerate slightly towards level 6. And we see Dandy do this quite a lot. He ganks rather a lot actually on Sejuani, but that one certainly paid off.
Yeah, the patience though, just most junglers would have backed away, gone back to their camps, but crucially didn't have anything to kill it. Just picked up the Gromp before he went bottom. So there was no camp to really draw his eye, and knew that at some point the overextension would come from Kid. He registered such a big damage trade onto Vasily with the max range Pierce that it was priced in to keep pushing. And there was Dandy.
Yeah, Rookie returns to his lane though. Chalice of Harmony plus an amp term. So Chalice coming through for Rookie there as his first item. Makes a lot of sense. Hetong returning again. Blasting one and a Ruby Crystal. So able to fight back quite a bit better now in the lane.
With the Force Pulse Max and the flat ability power coming through from the Blasting Rod, we'll have a bit of counter pushing. So maybe it will start to look better when it comes to lane control. But you can see that CS advantage. It's grown. It's already 20 CS in the mid. Good
Pierce there from Kid. Going to clear out the wave pretty quickly. And a Rico Bow's actually Kid's first item. Might be going in for again that quick BF sword plus the Rico bow build that he seems to love so much.
But look, if there's no team fights to really punish the fact that he doesn't have neither the lane sustain nor the Hurricane for the potential for the Ren sets, it's not a big deal. If you can get away with this build, it's just fine, and you don't have to auto-push the lane with a Hurricane, nor spend so much gold on sustain when you also want to have offensive opportunities with attack speed. So if you can choose to straddle the line and not get punished, you're perfectly happy if you're Kid.
Yeah, Rookie now as well, pushing things out, looking good on the CS front, but Hetong has caught up nicely. Dandy going to catch Cacao there, Permafrost in there for the slow. Ulti actually used as well. Hetong will dive over, and Cassidy going to get the kill. Carry's teleported in, but he is not needed.
And even though Rookie had both his Summoners and the Emperor's Divide, just couldn't get in position for that to be a meaningful statistic. Of course, you can just use the Rift Walk to move and navigate around that ability, so it wasn't going to come up trumps in that situation. And suddenly, it's another Nunu that's behind in the jungle.
Yeah, Cacao again on the Nunu behind. Dandy leading in front with the Sejuani once again. It's kind of a flashback to game 1. Tatai, though, almost solo killing Carry there in the top lane. Will force the flash, but Dandy should be able to steal away the Dragon for his team.
Surprising that Carry felt confident enough to pick up the Haunting Guys build for team fights rather than for lane. The hook comes through, but no potential for the steal. Carry has to be careful.
Yes, the tie going in. Might look to dive, but can't quite go aggressive. Maybe going to wait for his cooldown. 6 seconds till Blade Surge is back, but Carry smartly will back away. Does not want to get dove here by the Aurelia. Is going all the way back to his tier 2 turret.
I mean, the big adaptation I expected was Seeker's Armor just for a bit more laning power, because of course there will always come a point where Aurelia will naturally build that Trinity Force and Rumble just won't be able to duel her. She'll outscale in terms of 1v1 split push pressure. So building for Haunting Guys, that's definitely building for the Equalizer, building for team fights. I thought he would opt into more selfish items to try and deal with the Aurelia, but he went the Haunting Guys, and this is the result. He's quickly forced out of lane.
Yeah, no arm guard just yet. Just still with the cloth arm that he started at level 1 with his back in the bottom lane. Vasily returns with a BF sword. Marta actually moving in for a tornado. Very nice there. Hook almost landing, but Vasily predicts it and dashes out of the way.
CS very even in the bottom lane. Still waiting to see if we see the BF sword opted into yet. Of course, BF sword and actually completing the Hurricane going to be very similar gold values, but if I'm going to be a betting man, probably going to be the BF sword from Kid.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. Hetong clearing some stuff out. Actually has a red buff after the few exchanges. Kiddies getting low on the bottom side as Kid dodges some bolts from the culling. That's a good chunk there for Vici. And again, Vasily finally back in a 2v2 lane on Lucian where he can bully the enemy AD carry.
I mean, the burst trades are so much stronger for Vasily, even though Kid is going for the burst trade max and maxing the Pierce. That's just the nature of the kits between Lucian and this Callista. Dandy, I believe, was spotted out coming into lane, and you can tell Kid, not interested in staying in lane.
No, just going to take away the Krugs here as well. It does get them, but that might mean Vici get an early turret here, and it's been a while since we've seen an early turret felled by Vici, but they're starting to press the momentum. Already have a gold lead of about 1,000. Going to go up just a bit more as they take out the turret.
This was still their MO in the previous years. They got the first turret of the game in Game 2, but were never able to capitalize and out-rotate the enemy, and then in the previous game didn't get a turret at all. So good to be on the board for Vici. They've got the kills, they've got the dragon, they've got the turret. So the early objective play has been back theirs. Look, they skipped away for a couple of games, but they're back onto their playstyle in Game 4.
I just think it's nice to see Vasily play an aggressive AD carry and have Dandy back in his lane getting him ahead. We've seen that Vasily plays best from in front. He always wants to go aggressively. Even was famous for juking forward when he played in the NALCS, always moving towards his enemy. Vasily has the option to do that now as Kitties gets nailed by the slow of the ultimate there from Sejuani. Knockout coming through, a great double play. Rookie gets them out with the Emperor's Divide and a good save by the mid laner.
That time the Emperor's Divide was clutch in the situation. Seeing the trade on top.
Yeah, Zatai actually now getting on to carry. Good damage trade coming to Zatai. Can't quite get it. Flashes for the last auto and gets the solo kill. Just lives from the last tower bolt.
Good calculations. Probably could have got it a little bit safer, but no one to punish him in the top side. And a solo kill for Zatai on the impressive Rumble from Carry.
Rookie starting to destroy her tongue here as well with the blue buff. So many Sand Soldiers just moving in for the damage. Rookie aggressive. He's got a good CS lead here as well. Zatai building a similar lead, but Kakao, he's been the one that's got caught out a few times. Dandy will get him again. Her tongue's coming through. He channels his ultimate, but he gets knocked up. Rookie trying to zone them off. Goes back in aggressively once again. Teleport here for Zatai. There was Rookie. Doesn't have his ultimate. He's still fighting. Goes back in. Kiddies gets the hook. Kid gonna hop his way in. He's actually got a Hurricane now as well. Can't get the rent sets. Gets the kill onto a tongue glass. Rookie. Now the knockout comes through from the Fates calls. Dandy's forced to run away. Kid still moving in forward and TP's come down. Dandy only goes down and 2 for 1, I believe, for IG.
Fortuitous timing to have the Hurricane complete. This time it pays off. Vici have to back away just to respect the potential rent set coming in. Dandy was super low. Things were going from bad to worse for Vici. The result is a pretty even trade.
And it's, what, 25-30 CS ahead for the mid and similar or the same for the top side of the map. We talk about Rookie's early learning on champions like Azir, but Zatai's Aurelia looks very practiced.
I mean, and you can see from the CS advantage and the fact that Carry's built for teamfights rather than lane. He's basically ceded any hope of lane control going for double magic penetration over the likes of a Seeker's Arm Guard. Seeker's Arm Guard wouldn't have been the solution to the laning phase, but it would have improved it. In this situation, he just has to back away and basically uses Equalizer off cooldown just to try and push the wave in.
Yeah, Carry has no good options. Now 13-minute Trinity Force has been completed by Zatai, so can completely take Carry out in any sort of 1v1 situation. They might even look to rotate Lucian just to maybe get some tower damage down, but Dragon's back up in a minute 30. Vici can't afford to swap right now.
Hetong's struggle is that he's going for those aggressive trades, but with the 6-second rift walk, just isn't able to get a burst trade in and then disengage before all the Sand Soldier damage comes through. And the trade damage from Rookie is just higher than what Hetong can put out.
Yeah, I mean, all these autos coming through for this Azir just adding up to so much sustained damage.
Mid.
Good Lantern, though, does free him up. Dandy looking for an ulti, but doesn't find it this time, and everyone needs to stay alive. Dragon's back in a minute.
A minute, and we look at the prep vision. It's still there for Vici. Good defensive vision coming through from IG means that there's no aggressive vision they'll be put in to make this Dragon a safe one for Vici Gaming, but IG, they need to commit if they want to try and equalize the vision on the actual Dragon Pit.
Yep, Infinity Edge finish for Lucian there as well, so a big power spike for Vasily as we move in for our Dragon number 2. Rookie getting aggressive now at level 11. Zatai the same here, hunting Carry, you have to think, trying to zone him out by standing in the brush. Teleport's not up, actually, so if they do want to start a fight around this Dragon, it'll be 4v4.
I mean, Carry's got the double magic penetration, wants to get in there with the Equalizer, but not level 11, and no teleport is awkward times for the Rumble, who still can't stand in lane. He might have to just pack up and leave. He considered it, but he's just choosing between going top and bot.
Dandy coming in again. Kitties actually pops the box. Dandy might use his ultimate. Manta's got a tornado to knock him up. Kitties does flash a bit late, but is able to get safety and cross maximum distance. Great equalizer, though, by Carry as he roams down and he snipes the kill.
Yeah, even though it's just 100 damage a tick, 2 ticks is enough to take out the Thresh. That should free up the second Dragon for Vici. Good trade, but he doesn't actually lose his turret. It's very, very low in the top.
Yeah, the mid turret goes down though as Azir was able to take that out just from minions pushing in. He's even moving to the top lane, I think looking to try and take this turret out, maybe even get a gank on to carry. Nunu's come down as well. They will walk over a ward and they want to go in here, and carry already knows what's wrong, is going in towards his tier 2 turret.
Yeah, the turret's at about 30% health, so is critically low. Cannot stand up to the Aurelia. Shot goes back, shops, just picks up a null magic mantle. But hell, it helps the 1v1 that it was already heavily in the favor of Zatai.
Yeah, Rookie returns back to his lane as well. Berserker Greaves now finished for kids, so going to start pushing his waves up nice and aggressively with the Hurricane. Does have to be careful though, Hetong is joining down, but Kitties is going to get the hook onto him as well. Flay back out as well, but Riftwalk is of course up, and he'll be safe over the Dragon Wall.
And with just the Hurricanes, definitely not the single target damage build that Kid's looking for, so wouldn't have definitely had the secured damage, even if the first Riftwalk was interrupted. Zatai, this is causing really bad times for Carry. Remember, he picked this Rumble into Aurelia.
Yeah, Zatai's just diving at this point, and Carry can't do anything. A solo kill now as Zatai dives the turret, and Dandy is here to try and save him, but Zatai might even be able to go on as well. Too many minions are going to make it a problem, and Dandy will get the trade.
Again, the big issue is that Carry picked Rumble into the Aurelia, fully well understanding this matchup, and doesn't have any semblance of wave control already at 13 minutes. He basically has to pack up and leave and get those impactful equalizers down. But if he ever misses it, he's going to lose multiple turrets in the bottom lane, and whenever he returns, he's giving up CS, he's giving up lane control. Aurelia is only going to get more and more favorable in the off lane.
And that's exactly what they need. Aurelia, for me, is the big solution to all of the CC coming through, and even the Kassadin. If Zatai can hold down Hetong and be the one diving onto him, all of a sudden the squishier threats here, the Azir and the Kalista, that are so threatened by this mid to late game Kassadin, are nullified by the strong mid game Aurelia.
It's a good pickup. Kassadin himself, 4 stacks on the Rod of Ages, still about 24 minutes to finish up that Rod of Ages transform. The item timings are fine for Vici, but Kid went for the Hurricane build, hasn't been punished in terms of lack of wave control, because of course with Hurricane you're forced to only push in the minion wave. You cannot hope to freeze it because you're doing the AoE with those bolts. But able to pick up, and that Bloodthirst, it can't be more than a few minutes away. No,
should be there soon. BF Sword has been completed, and Zatai going in again. Carry immediately backs away. He does have some support this time, but IG may be sniffing out this gank, have Thresh in reserve as well.
I mean, Rumble's so far overextended. You know he has at least one friend. In this case, multiple friends, 4 members up top. IG don't necessarily have the ward coverage to know where people are. They happily spot them out with the one ward they had down, so it wasn't necessarily predictable, but the positioning from Carry kind of gave him away.
Yeah, we can look moving now as well. Rookie actually going in with his stinger now as well as Carry. Everyone leaves, and Zatai immediately jumps in. I'm going to look for another solo kill, almost gets it again, and Carry can't really rejoin this fight. Just an ultimate at this point.
Exactly. Not a solo kill, but might as well be. Forces him away, might even force a teleport if IG can get a big rotation, but not much to contest for at this stage.
Dandy hanging out, hoping someone walks by the ward that he set up, I think. Although, actually, that's an IG ward, so never mind. Kakao actually doing a good job with the sight soon, getting aggressive vision down, and Dandy going to find himself grossly out-rotated at this point. IG get a free tier 2 turret in mid.
With all the attack speed from Hurricane, okay, it doesn't help in 1v1s, but taking down structures does just fine. 3 turrets to 1. Vici getting out-rotated. Feels dangerously reminiscent of the last couple of games, Pastry Time.
4-1 in turrets now for IG, and it's accelerated here this game. This is normally what Vici do to people. They've got 2 dragons, so they have control over that area, but just getting out-rotated pretty consistently. I said, you know, with the bottom tower going down, looks good for Vasily, but you reminded me that that keeps happening in games, and Vici somehow still find themselves behind.
They break that first turret, but it's never the 3 turrets at 12, 13 minutes that was happening in the LPL. It's a single turret. They don't get the rotations they want in other lanes. Now Lucian's back up top again. They might finally fell this top turret, but that doesn't open up the strategic hole that Aurelia's just going to keep happily split pushing with teleport, and they have no one to send against it.
Yeah, I mean, rotation finally comes through for Vici. Does claim them an outer turret, but IG and Kakao with the Blood Bow working in, and at this point just using the Nunu as a rotational tool has been wonderful for IG.
And this is the Nunu paying off. The Blood Bow is doing a lot of work in this situation. Azir, Kalista, whoever they choose, they're answering outer turrets for inner turrets, and anyone can tell you that is in the advantage of IG.
I mean, Vici should know that better than anyone. That's how their team normally operates, and maybe the Kassadin's a part of the comp that I don't like, not because I don't think Hetong's Kassadin's good. It's actually great, nor do I think it's bad against this team comp. it just takes a little too long to get going, and IG are completely exploiting that power trough.
Certainly not Twisted Fate, who can threaten global pressure. Twisted Fate, I believe, available in this game, not selected. Kind of understandable after struggling in the previous game. But I agree with you. You need some wave clear. You need to at least control this minion wave. Have a counter push opportunity, and even if you go blasting one first, you're never going to be able to outpush Azia as Cassidy.
No, and you can see the CS lane for Rookie being consistently high in this particular lane. Top lane is just disgusting at this point as we pop up there. 60 CS and counting for Zatai, who's got his Trinity Force, a Hex Trinket, and a Glacial Shroud.
And that's the thing, is that Rumble can hope to group and maybe fight for the Dragon, always been his strong suit, the Equalizer in one of those choke points. But Aurelia's going to group now with all these item timings, so many mid-game items, and the Trinity Force. Don't think even the Equalizer can undo Invictus game.
I mean, crucially for Kid, has not completed the Bloodthirst if he has enough gold for it, so will be slightly weaker for this next Dragon fight, but plenty of strength left here on the IG lineup, and they're going to fight for this one.
Wait to see what Aurelia does. Hetong's already been poked out below half health. His frontline dive not going to be good without a Zhonya's, and they're catching people in transition.
Oh, Zatai going in again, diving onto Hetong. Not going to chase him too far forward, but zones him off, and that should give IG their first Dragon.
I mean, they have multiple options. They could have got a little bit of turret damage in, but the Dragon's so much safer to pick up. And now Rumble can't split push against Aurelia, and they have to give up the Dragon. Things go for bad for worse.
They do, and that's been the story of this game. And honestly, this series for Vici looked fairly strong in the first game. They took subdued ID and managed to win with a few precise team fights, but it's been the opposite story now. Vici, a team that's so proactive, that's been so good at punishing teams and consistently outclassing and outmoving people on the Rift, have had ID do this to them.
And that's the most surprising thing about this series, that they're being strategically outplayed by Invictus Gaming. That's not what the MO is of Invictus Gaming. That's not what we expected coming through. Though Invictus Gaming, if you give them one strength, it's their ability to adapt to the enemy's playstyle. Vici's has been very predictable. It's been about win lane, win game, push out those minion waves, move up that vision line, and just starve the enemy out of objectives. And IG's adjustments, that seems to be their strong suit. They've come in strong this series.
They've looked very good so far. Poised, of course, to meet with Edward Gaming in the semifinals if they can win this game. And they've started off strong, 3,000 gold ahead, 5-2 in turrets, the biggest thing for me. And Rookie, blood boiled up on a zero, aggressively moving towards an inhibitor turret.
The dictators are being dictated to Patient Time. They keep being misrotating here, Vici. They're going to lose an inhibitor turret for free, even with this teleport.
Yeah, Carry's forced to port. He should save the turret. Maybe not, actually. I think you were right, Kid. Going to get aggressive. It drops to 50% health, and IG just going to move to the bottom side to the minion wave that's maybe pushing in. An Equalizer comes down. Kid's forced to flash away. The hook goes in for Kiddies, but it actually misses in there. Cacao gets ulti, but Rookie going to force them away. Kid just needs to hop towards his team. Hetong's getting jumped on now as well. Cacao, a massive ulti to zone them away. And Zatai is so tanky in the backline. Martha resets with an ulti. Dandy gets tagged though and looks to go down. Hetong needs to find a way to go back in. Kill does go down. Actually, it's Cacao, the only death so far. And finally, Vici get a win.
No Ren set crucially meant that the fight kept going on. Zatai ported into the back. He wants to get the jump over, not able to get it.
Didn't have vision, but a very good ultimate. If he'd had some ward, he'd been able to blade surge over. But despite the kill, IG are still pushing in. They'll back away now, given that they're a little low on health. But one kill, not enough there for Vici in that situation.
And the crazy thing is they showed perhaps too much respect to the oncoming cavalry from Vici Gaming. They probably could have got that turret to 20% life. It'll start to regen now. So undoes some of the good work coming from IG, but Vici always so late to these rotations, always second to the rotations, always answering the rotations from Invictus Gaming. Outplaying them at their own game. That's a good sign for IG coming into that big semifinal, as you mentioned, but they still have to take out this game.
They do, and it's a crucial game for them to take. I mean, you can give one away if you have to, but always nerve-wracking to play a fifth game. It's so tense at that point, so just take it away now. Make sure you can secure your series. Get a bit more rest, honestly. It's been a long series already between these two teams, and so Ty's Aurelia, I can't remember if he's played it in the top lane so far in the LPL. I don't believe he has, but I've been incredibly impressed.
Definitely something he's added to his champion pool. And that's the thing about Zatai, is that he looked so shaky when he came to the team, playing basically Maokai only. And you're like, okay, why isn't Pokemon playing? One thing you can say about Pokemon is he can play tanks. But you then bring Zatai onto the lap. He can play those oddball picks like the Karthus top, like the Fizz top, and make those champions work because he's had a carry mindset for years. A 17-year-old as a 3-year veteran who's always been a great carry player can can bring those carry champions to the top. Okay, it's mostly been the tanks this series, but he can always throw in those other champions to the pool.
Kiddies has to be careful. Takes good damage there from Vici. Does get the ulti onto John. Sorry, the hook there. Fatecore will keep him safe. Kid will hop away as well, but now he's in trouble actually as he tries to throw his thrash. Oh, already died. Kid getting low there will die to Dandy, but now Zatai diving back in, gets the tray kill onto Mata. Kakao here as well, channels his ulti. Rookie joining in and getting onto Vici. Emperor's Divide will get the kill, but Rookie has to back away from the Cassid, and Zatai trying to peel once again, going in onto Atong, but IG 2v3 right now. Kakao looking to fall down as well. Zatai still fighting on the Aurelia. He's so strong, but finally goes down. No, somehow lives for now. Dandy goes in. The flames bitter enough there for carry, and Vici have started fighting back.
Massive misfire from Kid, and Kid is not respecting the damage coming through from Vici. Vici has Infinity Edge and Static Shiv. You do not let him free hit you if you're Kiddies, but Kiddies got DPS down. Fate's call to bring him up, so he just changed target to the Kalista, almost instantly killed her as well. It looked like it might get better when the cavalry came, but the same was the result for Vici, and it's a team fight win for Vici game.
And IG maybe thinking their lead's a little small, a little bigger than it actually is. It's only 1,000 gold between the two teams, or maybe, no, yeah, 1,000 gold actually. So they did have a decent lead before, about 4 to 5k, but that's shortened considerably since then. And the thing for Vici is they do have a good scaling comp here. Tongue in particular starting to get stronger. Lucian's not getting any weaker either, and Invictus Gaming, a couple of missteps there really cost them and closed the lead that they just had.
And it's a consistent story. You cannot just have one peel against the Caston. The Caston got into the backline, DPS down the backline, and they just had no options, even with Aurelia just applying the Equilibrium Strike and trying to DPS them down. The second Riftwall's going to come through. He's going to get out. You see CDR boots and the Dvinish Codex going to be moving towards that 40% CDR with blue buff. Peeling away Hatong is only going to get more difficult as he moves towards a 1.2 second cooldown Rift Walk. And IG just have to fight carefully because they have to respect Cassidon.
I think for me, it's, you know, gets the time maybe not as strong as he thought he would be in this point. As Kiddies gets tagged by Dandy again. He's now getting caught in his own jungle as he tries to be safe. Kakao, I think, tried to flash over to help him. No, that was somebody else. Actually, Thresh flashing away. That would make sense. But Dragon back up soon. Zatai still split pushing, but does not have his teleport quite yet to join in for Dragon in 15 seconds.
Crucially, there is no one that can be sent against Zatai. So carry needs to stay towards the Dragon. Third Dragon's a nice power spike. They need to make plays around the map because they cannot answer this Thai split push.
Oh, Fate's Call forced out there. It's Atong. Dives in onto Kiddies. Aurelia still on top of that tower and will get it actually. So all of the inner turrets down now as well. 6 to 3 in turrets for Vici, and IG threaten that Dragon with a Baron, and Vici have to back away from it.
IG trying to collapse onto the Baron. Probably not going to be successful. They can't fight in a choke. Still have to respect the Equalizer.
It's going to slow Dandy away, but he's rather tanky on the Sejuani. The Locket especially being a big help. Zatai does go back, gets a Spirit Visage for himself, so now diving the Cassidon seems like a much easier prospect. But Dandy nails Rookie with the ulti. He cleanses out of it. Emperor's Divide to peel as well, but Cassidon will not be peeled, and Atong dives in onto the back with great AoE.
This is all without Zatai present, so it was a great time for the go button. Excellent layering of CC with the Equalizer. Some of the spells definitely now on cooldown, and that should be the go button for the third Dragon.
Yep, Vici on top of it. They are going to go in, but IG still want to fight. Rookie at 50% HP. Kakao fairly low as well. They are going to try and go in for it, but they have to be careful. Zatai does it into Vici. 1v4 just trying to get the kill, but he's getting peeled off beautifully here. Kakao zoning away as well. Now Hatong will dive back in, but gets exhausted. Damage still coming through. Kid gets the kill on Tamata. Kakao will die in the crossfire. That was Rookie. Doesn't have an ultimate to try and go in. Carry zonies at just the last seconds. Zatai needs to find more kills. Azir manages to trade back away, and it's 3 for 2 somehow in favor of IG. And Zatai diving, trying to make it a 4th kill, but Dandy just gets away. Forces the flash though.
IG just have so many threats that go unchecked. If you're chasing down the Aurelia, that means that Kalista and Azir are free hitting in the backline. So many consistent damage. That's 3 of them, in fact. Not much burst on this team, but over a long fight, the consistent damage rings true.
Impressive show of strength there for IG as well, to go back in with a fight where they ran out of health and cooldowns and know they could fight Vici.
So we'll watch the replay coming out. So Aurelia just goes crazy and dives 1v4 in this situation. Vasily isn't assassinated, but Zatai's chased away. But in the backline, Kalista's already free hitting. Suddenly 4, 5, 6, 7 Ren stacks into Martyr at this point. So Kid is chased upwards. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Azir can show up late to this fight, positions the Sand Soldiers into a choke, and they do so much damage, changing targets between Dandy and the other option and just got so much work done.
Good hook there by Kiddies as well. Basically sniping carry with a death sentence. And the Zhonya's, unfortunately, was too low to be saved in that situation. The gold lead grows here for IG by ever so slightly. 3,000 gold ahead now, but IG have to respect that they're starting to lose ground here in this game. Vici are powering up as well, and that 3,000 gold at 30 minutes, not that significant.
Yeah, the big person that's powering up is the Casson. Has Athene's completed, been sitting on this large rod for what feels like an age. It must not be prioritizing the Zhonya's at this point. A lot of Baron damage, and they're starting it up.
Yeah, IG are going in here. They've got Consume and the Rend here, so plenty of ways to go in. They do ward it away, but IG might be able to finish it. It's at 50% health. Dandy maybe going to entertain a steal here. It's getting low. Dandy dives in. Nunu does consume it and steal it away, but Dandy now actually caught into the backline. The rest of Vici can't follow in. A great job of zoning for Silly. Someone gets hooked, and Emperor's Divide plus the tie absolutely wreck him. Now Carry getting chased down as well. Cacao will get that kill. 3 kills actually already as Carry somehow died in the crossfire as well. And IG playing with momentum. Mata getting stunned as well by Zatai. Blows him away with the Monsoon. Tornado will peel, but IG barreling down the mid lane.
5 members and the Baron buff all up. At least the minimum is that the inhibitor goes down. It's actually early in the game that I realized probably can't finish the game with this push, but they might try it.
They are indeed going to try. Blood Boil is one hell of a steroid here, and IG going to at least take some Nexus turrets. 2 seconds till Dandy, 4 for Vasily. 1 turret goes down. IG might just have enough firepower here. Good Tornado from Mata to peel. They are going to get to the Nexus, and IG do take it against Vici. One massive fight, and they've made it to the semis.
Invictus Gaming will be meeting Edward Gaming in the semifinals. Only needed the 4th game, 3-1. Crucially, lost the first game, made some adjustments, and kind of seemed to figure out Vici's playstyle. Never were they able to strangle IG out of resources. In fact, it felt like it was the foot was on the other shoe, and it was just such impressive play from Invictus Gaming.
I mean, for me, you said it, I think, in that last game, but so impressive for IG to beat Vici at their own game.
The adjustments, that's been kind of the calling card of Invictus Gaming. Really trying to button down what their particular style is. It's so nebulous because it changes from series to series. But when they're able to adjust to the enemy's win conditions, understand them, and just outthink them on them, this is the result. It's a comfortable 3-1 win.
Well, can they adjust to Edward Gaming? Because that is their opponent in the upcoming semi-final. IG vs EDG will be one hell of a match, but there's still more playoffs to go here. We're done with this side of the bracket, but the other side's just as scary.
The likes of OMG, LGD, Snake, and King wait on the other side of the bracket. We now confirm that it will be EDG versus IG in the semifinals. Would have looked comfortable for EDG a few weeks ago, but with Pawn's injuries and just the relative difficulty they had dispatching the 8th place World Elite in a 5-game series, IG, you never want to face EDG necessarily before the final, but this might be the time.
I mean, IG just looking so good there. Scary for any team to play at this point because they didn't show that much towards the end of the regular season. All of a sudden in playoffs, and look who shows up at Invictus Gaming.
And that's the definition of clutch pace time. When you've already confirmed your place in the playoffs, why show any new strategies? Why show anything new? They didn't, and suddenly look at this. Aurelia from Zatai, obviously a very critical pick this game, completely outdid Vici. Vici opted into Rumble versus Aurelia, a skill matchup, and the previously 10-1 carry Rumble crumbled to Zatai's Aurelia.
Yeah, I guess finally 10-2, but that wraps it up for our broadcast this evening. Congratulations to Invictus Gaming, winning over Vici there 3-1 in a fairly strong finish to this series. We will, of course, be back tomorrow. The summer promotion will be back, and the spring playoff quarterfinals will also continue. But for myself, Papa Smithy, and Spawn, we'll see you tomorrow.